Will Smith tells an inspirational story on his father making him and his brother build a brick wall.
I had to come to Harriet's bookstore. We got a whole lot of stuff. We're having some fun. I'm back in my hometown. Haven't been home since it's been a long time. So now I'm back home, launching my book. Got to do it in Philly. We're here at Harriet's, and they got some surprises for me. They got some surprises. Bam!
Well, we heard you like to play.
I like to play.
Okay.
I like to play. See, that's why I love Philly right here.
You know you'll get it.
You'll get it.
Well, what we're gonna
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Does this bring any
See,
memories
yes,
to you?
absolutely.
Talk about it.
All right, my book actually opens with a story of my father had my younger brother and me build a brick wall. I was 11, and my little brother was 9, and my father had us build a brick wall, one brick at a time, no help. We had to mix the concrete, and it took us almost a year. It was probably 16 feet high, 20 feet long, and one brick at a time we had to build this wall. And it was one of the lessons. I thought there was never ever going to be a wall there ever again in life.
Don't focus on
and he said, don't focus on the wall. Just focus on this one brick. Just lay one perfect brick. There is no wall, right? And that lesson kind of taught me that when you're focused on building a wall, you're focusing on this big giant dream you have. It's really hard to get your head around it. But if you just focus on laying one brick perfectly, like, of course you can do that. One day at a time. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, that's the brick. That was 56 in Arlington. 56 in Arlington.
Is that wall Is that brick wall still there?
No. It was, I think it's a church now. I think they tore it down and they made a church.
They regret that now.
Exactly. One perfect brick. Now that lesson comes back to me like literally 2 or 3 times a week when something gets too giant for me. It's like, nope, Will, we're not thinking about no wall.
Bring it in.
Bring it in. One brick.
My sister and
One brick.
We call that finding our stillness.
Finding our stillness. I love that. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Narrative.
The narrative. Yeah. Find your stillness. I love that. Walking narratives. But that's beautiful.
Okay. So we're going to continue to take you through the simulation.
Yeah.
Okay, because your great grandchildren who are modern day Harriets want you to know how powerful this message is. Okay, so we're gonna move over here.
This is the first time I'm seeing my book like this.
What?
I've only seen one copy.
Well, here we are.
And this is the first time I'm seeing multiple copies of my book.
Pause. Find my stillness.
Find my stillness.
And take it in. Take it in.
This is beautiful.
And breathe it in. Allow for yourself to have that moment.
That's the actual book. First time author. I got the prototype, a couple of days ago. It was the first time I looked at it and touched it. It's the actual cover with the actual writing and the actual book. And it was I bled all over this thing.
Okay.
So it's
What's the word? The one word, it was, you had a word there and you just swallowed it.
Well, I was going to say excruciating.
Okay.
Excruciating, putting all of my experiences, and it's a really liberating process to just tell your truth and let it live.
Your great grandchildren, they are so happy that they appreciate it. Yeah, it really shapes things for the future.
That is so real.
They told us that one day. Which Harry was here. Because at 6:04, he had a personal protest. Because he didn't want to come to the breakfast table that day. We want to talk about protest. What does that mean to have a personal protest?
The idea of a personal protest, that was just Harry too, by the way.
We wanted him weird. We wanted him in the future. They told us that he might be like that.
Yes, exactly. No, a personal protest, to be able to stand firmly in your knowingness, in your certainty. And just because somebody is stronger than you doesn't mean they're right. And might does not make right, and it was even though it was a tiny protest, he knew that gotta love yourself first, and he wouldn't have been proud of himself if he did not, make his stand and make his protest.
Protesting is really, really, really about standing in your conviction, right?
Standing in that conviction and that certainty, and being willing to bleed.
What are you certain about today?
What am I certain about? I am certain that living authentically is of a higher quality than maintaining a persona. Yeah.
We'll test that.
I hope I don't have to do a personal protest.
We're like,
So,
that's crazy.
Get into that cover.
Yeah.
Here you have a pair of shoes, but you used to wear a special kind of shoe when you were younger.
Oh, tragedy.
Let's talk about
Tragedy, yeah.
The grandkids said it was important.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What were those kind of shoes?
Shoes. I had I wish I could find that. Where that chapter, where I could find that. I had a passionate but unfortunate cowboy boot phase. I just loved them cowboy boots. I don't know what happened. I would wear them with shorts. I would wear them to play basketball.
It was in fantasy.
It was in fantasy. I was like, oh, she remember that? It's like, yeah.
We studied this. This is our Bible.
Yes. She was like, chapter 2.
right. And we're all wearing cowboy boots. Right, we all wear cowboy boots.
That is genius. The cowboy boots. So that's Miss Brown. Oh, there it is. Okay. One day I was about 12 or 13 years old. A bunch of us were playing basketball in the schoolyard. I was fresh to death in my bright green shorts and my favorite cowboy boots. In my mind, I was Magic Johnson, but on the actual court, I looked more like a figure skater. Cowboy boots don't necessarily provide the requisite grip or ankle support you might otherwise find in a standard basketball shoe. Basically, I was stumbling all over the place. At some point, the universal basketball bragging began, everybody trying to demonstrate how they could replicate the moves of their favorite players. One dude shouted out, "Kareem," slung up a sky hook. Another one screamed, "Bird," throwing up a three. But this was Philadelphia in the early 80s.
Hey.
How dare they disrespect these Philly streets? There's only one name to yell out on these courts. Dr. J. Julius Erving. I said, "Watch out, y'all. Here comes Doc. Move, y'all. I'm about to dunk." Matt Brown bust out laughing. "You can't dunk." Granted, I had never dunked before, but as soon as I said it, I believed it. And as I made my way back to half court, I licked my fingers and wiped the bottom of my cowboy boots just for some traction. As I prepared to take a running start, I swear to the Almighty, I had no doubt I was about to dunk this ball. And as I stretched my shoulder to prepare for full extension, the guy started throwing out bets. "I bet you $3 you can't do it, Will." "Bet." I just clapped back. "Get my money right." "I'm in for 5, somebody said. "I'm gonna take all of y'all monies." And I'm agreeing to all of them because in my mind, the ball is already dunked. Guys fan out. There's a moment of anticipation. I steady myself, and the murmuring settles. And then boom, I take off running down the court. I'm seeing the Julius Erving rock the baby cradle dunk in the 1983 final sweep against the Lakers. Cowboy boots clomping, feet flailing. I hit my stride, about to take off. I'm up, I'm flying, cameras flashing, the crowd is going crazy, and then silence. And somehow I'm falling backwards. Something has gone wrong. Slam! and reality hits with the force of paved asphalt. I'm not Julius Erving. I'm out cold. So I knocked myself out on the basketball court with them cowboy boots on. But after I hung myself on the rim.
You would have got it.
I was gonna get it. I was gonna get it. But yeah, so I ended up in an ambulance and with a couple stitches in the back of my head. Since you can't dunk in cowboy boots. And I think and I learned that lesson, and that's what this book is about. This book is about lessons.
In the future, they can dunk.
They can dunk in cowboy.
We do everything in the future. So just glazing our eyes around, and we saw this bright colors. We see this. Oh, what is this? Is it a record? Is it a record?
Does it come apart? All right. Oh man, that's fantastic. Okay, what? So that's
the best?
Oh, there we go.
Who is the best? DJ.
Yeah. How crazy is it? You don't see records anymore.
I
was like, what's this? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Southwest Philly. Yeah, that dude. He just imagine before, DJing wasn't what DJing is before Jeff. Jeff was a part of inventing what hip hop DJs ended up doing. It was even the idea of two turntables was still a new concept, and coming out of the 70s out of New York was when they shifted to the two turntables. So Jeff was a pioneer, a trailblazer,
a modern day Harriet.
A modern day Harriet, absolutely, hip hop DJing. So, I went to Overbrook and he went to Barton. So he was a couple years ahead of me, and those early years in Jeff's mom's basement, inventing, just the two kids, and hip hop was brand new and all of that, and I chronicle our rise in the book, but that time was sweet for hip hop. It was like everything was brand new. We would perform, and sometimes you'd perform, and half the crowd had never seen a person rap before. Right. It was new. It was that's how brand new it was, And
it's like being from the future.
Being from there. See how you brought it back around.
So how do you deal with back then, right? Things are brand new. How do you deal with the people who are stop that? No, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Well, at that time it was it wasn't really a business. So it was just a hobby. So it wasn't until we started taking it a little seriously that you started feeling the haters trying to stop it, and parents didn't really understand. Yeah, right. So, parents are they didn't really get it, and I talk about it in the book. It wasn't really a problem in my life until I told my mother I didn't want to go to college because I wanted to rap. Yeah. And she was like, no, you can't be no rapper. And I said, why? Well, she's like, because I don't know what that is. She was like.
So what do you do when your hope is going to break someone else's heart?
Yeah, that was my, that's really the central human question, when your dreams and your desires and your hopes collide with somebody else's. And, me and my mother had a full collision. And in her mind, she couldn't imagine that I could succeed in the world without a college education. To her, it was a sentence. To not go to college and try to rap was a sentence, and that's one of that was one of the really pivotal and critical points in my life when I had to hold firm to what my dreams were. And fortunately, my father supported me in that, you know, he was like, look, you got a year. You go ahead, you take your year, and then if you make something happen in that year, you go ahead, but you did the thing, and if not, then you're gonna go to whichever one of them colleges that your mother paid.
So hard.
Right? You know.
We're gonna let you speak to the camera. You wanna have anything you wanna say to the audience out there?
Yeah, you know, I'm just, you know, people have been following me for a long time, and you know, this is a really new, transformative point in my life. I gave everything I had. I left it all on the page in this book, and I hope you enjoy it. You know, I feel deeply purged and thoroughly terrified. thoroughly terrified. But you can order. You can add to the cart below to get your copy. And each one is sold by Harriet's Bookshop directly. So what do we say? So for the first 5,000 books sold, so Instagram is going to donate $10 to the Will Book Club. We get some folks reading. Get folks reading.
So you're reading again.
You're reading again. Reading again.
Thanks for tuning in to 9 Mag TV.